Hey everyone, Demon Mike here, bringing you another map guide in Heroes of the Storm for the Beginner's Guide playlist. On this map, we're going over the Garden of Terror. The main keys you're wanting to do for this map, you're wanting to defeat the Shamblers and collect the seeds that they drop as you defeat them. The Shambler camps are in set locations. If you follow me on the mini-map in the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a Shambler camp there of 3, a boss Shambler, and then another camp of 3 there. And then up here, it's just mirrored. There's a camp of 3, a boss, and then another camp of 3. And so to start out on this map, there's 3 lanes. So the basic method on this map seems to be just splitting 2 heroes top, 1 mid, and 2 bottom. But other variations might be more useful. I could see it being a good thing to have multiple heroes in the middle, so you can try to pick whether you want to go bottom or top for the Shamblers at the start. The first set of Shamblers is always at 1:30, so make sure you're ready for that every time. And just if possible, clear your creep wave before you head up, and then start collecting the Shambler seeds. And try to not let the enemy team collect them from you. Normally, if this was PvP, they would be going straight after the hero. But these are just AI on beginner, so they're not very smart. They're just gonna try to collect the seeds, go after the main objective. They won't be very aggressive. That's just for the sake of the video, just trying to give the best example as possible. Showing you everything you need to know about it. So you don't want to try to, at least with most heroes, you don't want to try to take on the boss Shambler alone. So you want to try to get your team together and take them on together. Let's see, let's get this healing fountain. Get some health and mana back. Okay, so now that we've collected 100 seeds, the Shambler is now growing. This is the spot it will always grow. And on the opposite side of the map, that's where it grows on the right side. For the Garden Terror, the first thing you want to do is use the E ability. It's a sprint. It's a 14-second cooldown. It lasts 3 seconds. The W ability is Garden Terror Overgrowth. Make sure you're using this overgrowth on buildings as a priority, but if the buildings aren't in range yet and there's a wave of creep heading your way, you can use it on them as well. But as you just saw, it just hit everything, including the creep and the buildings, so that was a really powerful overgrowth there. And try to protect the overgrowth from enemy heroes with your Q ability. It will crowd control them by polymorphing them, and it makes them unable to cast or attack, but they can move, and their movement is also slowed. So I'd be showing you better with the, let's just pretend there's a hero there. You just try to, especially if they're melee, you just throw it there so they have to try to avoid it, and it slows them down and everything. Both literally and figuratively. So yeah, that's the basics for the Garden Terror. It takes a little bit of practice. Just make sure you're using the Q wisely, especially the W as well, and don't forget to sprint when necessary. If your team's not able to push with you with the Garden Terror, and the enemy team's kind of contesting you against pushing, then make sure you are just kind of kiting the enemy team around. I would suggest like going from middle to top or bottom to middle, that kind of thing, just to try to throw the enemy team off and try to get out as much siege damage as possible. And in between Shambler camps, or the night time where the Shamblers come out, make sure you're collecting merc camps safely. I'll just show you where the merc camps are. This one's a siege, this one's bruiser, another siege is over here, and down here we got bruiser camp, siege camp, and another siege camp over here. So yeah, it's a 3-lane map, and it's a pretty unique style game type with the Shambler Terror, Garden Terror, whatever you want to call it. And just make sure you're working together as a team, collecting the seeds and trying to counter the other team from collecting the seeds. Like right here, I'm gonna try to stop them. And I think there was another, yeah, here's Kerrigan. Let's stop her as well. And then we're basically free to take on this Shambler boss. Of course, it'd be a lot more competitive against players, but that's just the gist of it. And we got another set, another Garden Terror. So I'm going to go show that off one more time before I end the video.
The sun dawns. My children must sleep.
So again, sprint right away. Try to use that as much as possible.
Well done. The terror
And
shall uproot your enemy's forts. Enemy dominated.
guess I won't be able to show you. Let's just pretend there's a creep wave coming through here. You could just throw it down. Make sure you just run down past them and sprint by them so they don't try to chase you and they run through the that pot, the overgrowth. So you can use the overgrowth to damage the core. It's not going to crowd control the core. It's still going to be able to attack. Unlike the forts and towers, the core is still able to attack, but it still does do a good amount of damage to it. And as you can see, I'm using the Q ability to crowd control the enemy heroes. Again, this could take a lot of practice against real players. They're pretty good at dodging it. So try to place it in areas that they have to travel through, especially at choke points on the map. But yeah, that's all the basics for Garden Terror. Hopefully you learned something or enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and have a good one.